Welcome to our presentation for international marketing. We are Group 2 and we hope you enjoy a presentation on Domino's Pizza's international marketing activities in Australia and South Korea. So first, let's talk about who are Domino's and why we chose to look into their marketing activities. Domino's Pizza is an American pizza chain founded in 1960 by two brothers, Tom and James Monaghan. It began when the two bought a small pizza shop named Dominic's in Michigan, USA. The original logo of the company had 3 dots, each dot symbolising the 3 pizza stores Tom and James owned in the county of Michigan. Domino's Pizza opened its first franchise store in 1967. By 1978, the company had expanded to over 200 stores. Today, Domino's is located in over 85 countries with approximately 11,000 stores. The size of Domino's, along with its strong brand equity, makes it an ideal organisation to investigate their international marketing activities. One marketing method or approach would not work in all 85 locations. Therefore, each location would need its own integrated marketing concept. To illustrate the variety in Domino's marketing activities, we have selected 2 polar opposite markets. These 2 markets being South Korea and Australia. Let's first take a look at South Korea. As a culture, South Korea is distinctively different to America. It is a society and culture that we as a group know very little about. None, in fact. Apart from maybe a little bit of K-pop. Unfamiliarity with South Korea was a big reason why we chose it as one of the markets to look into. To see how exactly an American fast food chain markets itself in such a different society compared to its home country. The first Korean store opened in 1990. South Korea as a nation loved their pizza. For South Koreans, when it comes to pizza, anything goes. To sum up, pizzas have become Koreanized. This with thanks to its outlandish toppings. Such toppings that us here in Ireland won't imagine of, such as king prong seafood and wagyu empastica. As a brand, Domino's holds a 50% market share in South Korea. The fact Domino's holds such a strong position in the pizza chain market in South Korea also enticed us to look into their marketing activities and gain some insight into why they hold such a strong position. Take a look at Australia. The first Domino's store in Australia opened in 1983 in Queensland. After selecting South Korea as our first location, we wanted to choose a market that would provide us with a strong contrast. With South Korea having an Asian culture and society, we thought a Western society, such as Australia, would be a suitable comparison. As Australia is a Western society, we as a group can relate more to it than South Korea. So before we looked into how Domino's markets themselves in Australia, we had some assumptions. These assumptions being that Domino's markets themselves the same in Australia as in Ireland or the UK. We wanted to find out if this was the case and put our assumption to the test. Australians, like South Koreans, love their pizza. This is evident in the amount of Domino's stores in each country. There are 571 stores in Australia and 417 in South Korea. Their preferences in pizza tailor towards their love of seafood and barbecue. Korean pizza is more flamboyant in comparison to Australian pizza. As both markets consist of pizza lovers and having unique toppings on their pizza, we liked the possibility of comparing how Domino's markets 2 very different demographics of pizza lovers. What should be noted after looking at the amount of stores in each country is the population of each. Australia has quite a modest population of around 24 million people, while South Korea has an impressive 51 million. So even though there are many stores in both, Australia has many more per person. This shows Australia having a higher demand for Domino's pizza in comparison to South Korea. Given that both countries have a very different cultural background, both have very different dietary preferences. The Australian Domino's menu can be described as a Western and more familiar approach when it comes to the toppings and types of pizzas that they offer, with pepperoni and chicken pizzas being very common. Compare this to the Korean menu and it's very, very different indeed. The Korean menu had to be tailor-made to fit into the Korean market, which is why they offer anything from potato pizza to bulgogi toppings, all of which can be enjoyed on a seated base.
Looking now towards difficulties in each market. Both countries face stiff competition from other pizza companies. With Pizza Hut in Australia buying out 2 popular pizza chains, Eagle Boys and Pizza Haven, Domino's in Australia has to differentiate themselves from their rivals. One way they're doing this is through launching their new app. With this app, customers can order a pizza to any location through GPS on their phones. This means that customers can be in the park or at the beach and have a pizza delivered to them where they are sitting. In Korea, Domino's biggest rival is a chain called Mr. Pizza. Domino's uses smart advertising to try and separate themselves from their competition and gain market share. Obviously, Domino's advertise in both countries, but the way they advertise is slightly different. The Australian adverts tend to be based on the quality and freshness of the ingredients, even using a Domino chef in one to explain how their pizza is superior, as well as promoting their high levels of customer service. Domino's in Australia is working on their customer care through the We Care campaign. The campaign focuses on the customers to make sure they are 100% satisfied with the Domino service. They care so much that they even close all of their stores for 1 hour to train the staff in anticipation for the new movement. Korean promotions are based on celebrity endorsements. By using local celebrities, Domino's put together a string of adverts. Song Joong-ki and Park Bo-gum are two Korean actors who have been used for numerous adverts in the campaign to showcase new types of pizza on offer. The adverts tend to be much more flamboyant and loud to grab the customer's attention, which is a great way, it seems, to sell pizza. Now to compare the difference in prices between the two markets. When we began to look at the different pricing of pizzas in each market, we first looked at the minimum wage for each country to give us some perspective. In South Korea, the minimum wage is $5.97 and in Australia it is a much higher $13.97, which as you can see is quite a significant pay gap. The price of pizza in South Korea is much greater than Australia when you look at the minimum wage. A typical medium-sized pizza with cheese and pepperoni in Australia is around $3.82, whereas the same pizza in South Korea is a much higher $14.30. It's a considerable gap. From this, we can see that Domino's charged a markup price in South Korea. In general, Western products and cuisine is much more expensive in Asian markets in comparison to native alternatives. Organisations can charge a markup price when consumers are less price sensitive. From this, we learn that South Koreans accept markup prices from Domino's.
The marketing mix is a very famous, well-known marketing model. It is the 4 Ps which consist of product, price, promotion and place. These ingredients combined capture and promote a brand or product's unique selling points and how it differs from its competitors. The model has been used by marketing companies, branding agencies and web design companies worldwide. As we can see, Domino's successfully applies the model to both Australia and South Korea, and it plays a significant role in their success. The company is the second largest pizza chain in the world and selling on average more than 1.5 million pizzas per day, so it's easy to say their aggressive marketing approach is serving them extremely well. One of the main reasons as to why they are so successful is how they don't generalize their product. The differences in the product pricing and their advertising of Domino's in each separate country shows their advanced understanding of their customers and also their product and the market.
Created using Powtoon.